May 6, 1944. 0315 hours. The MI5 safehouse in London trembles faintly from a distant air raid siren, the city cloaked in blackout darkness. Juan Pujol García, Garbo, freezes at his desk, the radio's glow casting shadows across his face. His handler, Tommy Harris, stands in the doorway, expression etched with urgency. "We have a problem," Harris repeats, voice low and gravelly. He closes the door behind him, the click echoing like a gunshot. Garbo's stomach twists. The WWII's latest query, demanding specifics on troop insignia, smells like a trap. One wrong answer, and the Nazis might unravel everything. His mind races. The fictional network of 27 agents, each one a fragile thread in this web of lies. If it snaps now, with D-Day looming. Harris paces, cigarette dangling from his lips. They're probing. Testing loyalty. We feed them chicken feed, harmless truths, but twist it just enough. Garbo nods, forcing calm. His hands, steady now, adjust the transmitter. Another message forms in his head, confirmation from Agent Alaric in Kent, fake divisions massing. But doubt gnaws like rot. Lives hang on this charade. Thousands of boys on those landing crafts, waves crashing, bullets waiting. How did it come to this? A man who once dodged bullets in Barcelona, now directing the symphony of war from a shadowed room. Flashback to April 1942. The choppy waters of the Atlantic. Pujol huddles in the hold of a British ship, smuggled from Lisbon under cover of night. His wife Araceli waits in Portugal, her letters pleading for safety. But he can't turn back. The WWII thinks he's in London already, spinning yarns from afar. Interrogation rooms at MI5. Bright lights, endless questions. Who are your contacts? Why the Germans? Pujol lays bare his deceptions. The invented convoy sinkings. The phantom air raids. Harris, sharp-eyed and artistic, a painter in peacetime, sees the potential. "You're an actor," he says, a grin breaking through. Garbo. Like the star. The partnership ignites. They craft messages together, Pujol's flair for drama meeting Harris's strategic mind. Back in the safe house. Harris exhales smoke. "Send it. But add a rant, your style. Complain about British inefficiency. Makes you human." Garbo types furiously. The Morse code beeps into the void. Silence stretches. Minutes feel like hours. Then, the receiver stirs. Berlin's reply. Acceptance. More funds wired. Relief floods Garbo, but it's fleeting. The real test approaches. Operation Fortitude. The Allies' grand illusion. Convince Hitler the invasion targets Pas-de-Calais, not Normandy. Garbo's role? The maestro. His network swells in their scripts. Agent Dagobert in Exeter, spotting ghost armies. Agent Donny in Brighton, whispering of inflatable tanks. Each report layered, believable. The Nazis award him the Iron Cross, virtually, of course. But the human cost weighs. Garbo imagines the German officers poring over his words, diverting panzers north. One mistake. Pujol's early life forged this steel. Barcelona, 1912. A comfortable childhood shattered by the Great Depression. His father's dye business crumbles. Then, 1936, civil war erupts. Anarchists seize the streets. Pujol, drafted by Republicans, deserts. Hides in a convent, then a friend's attic. Captured, imprisoned. The damp cells, the beatings. He escapes, joins Franco's side briefly, another desertion. Survival teaches deception. Lies become armor. Post-war, 1939. Married to Araceli, poultry farm in Madrid. But newsreels of Hitler's March fuel rage. "I hate the Nazis more than Franco," he confides. They propped him up. 3 rejections from British embassies. Humiliation burns. So, the bold pivot, approach the WWII in Madrid. "I sympathize," he lies. "Let me help." They bite. Train him in Lisbon. microdots, secret inks. His heart hammers during lessons, betraying betrayers. Alone in a rented room, he builds the myth. First Agent, a fictional KLM pilot, feeding flight paths. Reports mailed with British stamps, sourced illicitly. Slips happen. He describes Glasgow's grape harvest, ignorant of Scotland's climate. Abware overlooks. Trust builds. By 1942, in London, MI5 integrates him into XX, the double-cross committee. Chaired by John Masterman, Oxford Don turned spymaster. They turn captured spies, feed disinformation. Garbo shines. His verbosity, long, passionate missives, endears him. One agent dies of illness to cover a V-1 rocket prediction flop. Nazis send funeral funds. Absurd. Brilliant. June 3, 1944. 3 days to D-Day. The safe house buzzes with tension. Garbo and Harris hunch over maps, scripting the crescendo. A message, his deputy warns of unusual activity in southeast England, pointing to Calais. Garbo adds flair. I am disgusted with this wretched country. Berlin laps it up. Kulenthal, his handler, champions him to Hitler. But Araceli cracks. Isolated in London, she storms into the embassy, threatens to expose everything unless sent home. MI5 stages her arrest. Garbo visits her in a fake cell. For our safety, he whispers. She relents. The marriage strains, but holds. The B story deepens, the science of deception. Ultra intercepts from Bletchley confirm Nazi beliefs. Enigma cracked by Turing's bomb machines, whirring behemoths decoding fate. Allied planners, Eisenhower, Montgomery. They craft Fortitude north, fake Norway invasion, and south, Calais. Props, dummy tanks from Shepperton Studios, Hollywood meets war. Radio operators mimic army chatter. Ghost signals bounce across the channel. Garbo's reports seal it. His agents spot Patton's fictional army group in Kent. Psychological warfare, exploit Hitler's paranoia. He fixates on Calais, the shortest route. June 5, 1944. Eve of invasion. Storms rage over the channel. Eisenhower delays 24 hours. Garbo waits, nerves raw. A coded alert to Berlin, the attack imminently, but vague. No response. Agony. Then, June 6. Dawn. Paratroopers drop over Normandy. Beaches assaulted, Omaha, Utah, gold. Blood and chaos. Men drown in surf, mowed by machine guns. But Garbo's moment comes later. June 9. 0300 hours. With Normandy secured but fragile, Garbo transmits the masterstroke. His Agent 37 reports, Normandy is diversion. Main force still poised for Calais. He sends it hours after a planned V-1 briefing, proving loyalty by risking arrest. Berlin bites. Hitler holds 15 divisions north. Rommel's panzers idle. Weeks saved. Lives spared. But in the safe house, Garbo collapses into a chair. Exhaustion crashes like waves. Harris claps his shoulder. You did it, Juan. Tears sting. Not from joy, from the weight lifted. The how of fortitude, multi-layered. Agents like Brutus, Roman Czerniawski, Polish pilot, corroborate Garbo's lies. Mincemeat, the 1943 deception with a corpse carrying fake plans, swallowed whole. Why it worked. Nazi hubris. They trusted their best spy. Pujol's psyche. Actor, yes. But haunted. Dreams of executions from Spain. Araceli's support wavers. When does it end? Soon. July 1944. V-1 buzz bombs terrorize London. Garbo protests to Berlin. Inaccurate targeting. They adjust, away from key areas. Masterful. War's end approaches. VE Day, May 1945. Cheers in streets. But for Garbo, danger lingers. Nazis hunted double agents. MI5 awards him MBE, member of the British Empire. The Nazis? His Iron Cross arrives post-war, irony supreme. Pujol vanishes. Fakes death in Angola, malaria, they say. MI5 plants obituaries. Nazis buy it. He resurfaces in Venezuela. New life. Bookshop owner, quiet. Araceli and children join. But shadows remain. Historian Nigel West tracks him down. Pujol emerges, tells his tale. Dies 1988. Hero unsung no more. Back to June 1944. As Normandy beaches smoke, Garbo stares out the window. The deception holds. Allies push inland. But in his heart, a final suspense. Will history remember the lies that saved the truth? Or will the ghosts of his 27 agents haunt him forever? June 9, 1944, 0200 hours. The safe house on Jermyn Street, London. A single bulb swings overhead, throwing long, restless shadows across the map-strewn table. Juan Pujol García, Garbo, hasn't slept in 48 hours. His eyes are raw, his shirt soaked through with cold sweat. The transmitter is still warm from the message that just went out, the one that could still kill every man now fighting on the Normandy beaches. He has just told the Germans the biggest lie of the war. To Führer headquarters, most urgent. From Agent Garbo via Madrid. My highest source confirms. Current landings in Normandy are a large-scale diversion. The decisive assault, commanded by General Patton, remains poised opposite Pas-de-Calais. Expect the main blow within 10 days. I stake my life and my reputation on this information. Your devoted Garbo. He signed it the way they love, flamboyant, almost theatrical. Now he waits. Every heartbeat feels like a mortar round going off inside his ribs. If Berlin smells the deception now, the German 15th Army, 19 divisions, 200,000 men, will roll south and drown the Allied bridgehead in blood before it can draw breath. Tommy Harris stands behind him, arms folded, cigarette burned down to a glowing ember between his fingers. Neither man speaks. Only the wall clock ticks, and somewhere over the river the ack-ack guns cough at another lone raider. Then the set crackles. Madrid relays Berlin's answer in less than 90 minutes, lightning speed for the Abwehr. Message received with greatest gratitude. The Führer has been personally informed. Your report considered of supreme importance. All agents to remain at maximum alert. Additional funds transferred immediately. Continue. Garbo exhales, a sound halfway between a sob and a laugh. Harris claps him on the back so hard the chair skids. For 3 full seconds they grin like madmen. Then the grin dies. Because now comes the worst part. Watching the real beaches burn, knowing every hour the lie holds is another hour American, British, and Canadian boys are paying for it with their lives. Flashback, just 21 days earlier. May 19, 1944, 2100 hours. Supreme Headquarters, Bushy Park. Eisenhower stands alone under the hissing gas lamps, staring at 5-day weather charts that look like a death sentence. If the deception collapses, he will have to cancel Overlord. Maybe forever. In the next room, for the first time in his life, Juan Pujol García shakes the hand of the Supreme Commander. Ike's grip is iron, his eyes exhausted but kind. He speaks slowly, in careful Spanish-accented English. Mr. Pujol, I don't know if we're going to make it. But I do know that if we do, history will owe you a debt it can never repay. Garbo, the former chicken farmer who once hid from both sides in the Spanish Civil War, can only nod. He has never felt more insignificant, or more terrified. Back in the Jermyn Street safe house the nights dissolve into one long fever. Garbo lives on black coffee, Benzedrine, and terror. He becomes 27 different people in a single evening. He writes love letters from Agent 4's Gibraltarian waiter mistress. He forges furious telegrams from the anti-Semitic Welshman in Swansea. He stages entire drunken arguments in waterfront pubs that never existed, then reports the overheard snippets to Berlin. Each lie is a brushstroke on a canvas the size of Europe. And Adolf Hitler stares at that canvas, spellbound. June 6, 0300 hours. D-Day. The first paratroopers are already falling through flak over Normandy when Garbo is deliberately kept off the air for 20 agonizing hours. MI5's calculated proof that he is under surveillance. He paces the room like a wolf, chain-smoking, muttering curses in Catalan. Finally, at 0300 on the 7th, he transmits the apology they rehearsed 100 times. Was detained by authorities. Risked arrest to reach transmitter. Attack has commenced, but I repeat, diversionary in character. Full report follows. Berlin forgives the silence. They trust him more than ever. Cut to the German side of the hill. Madrid, June 10, 1400 hours. Colonel Hans Joachim von Kalenthal, Garbo's devoted case officer, storms into the embassy cipher room waving the latest decrypt. Arabelle has done it again, he shouts. Canaris is gone, but Kalenthal still believes he has the crown jewel of espionage. In the Wolf's Lair, Colonel Alexis von Wren lays Garbo's warning in front of Hitler. The Spaniard confirms the Schwerpunkt remains Calais. Hitler nods, almost relieved. The Panzer reserves stay north. 6 irreplaceable weeks bleed out on the road to nowhere. July 20th, 1640 hours. The bomb explodes at Rassenburg. When Garbo hears the news on the BBC, he feels only dread. A longer war means more lies, more sleepless nights, more graves. August 25th. Paris falls to the Allies. Garbo frantically cables that the Pas-de-Calais assault has merely been postponed due to logistical chaos. It is the last convulsion of Fortitude. It works. When Canadian troops finally stroll into Calais in September, they find the Atlantic Wall still facing England, guns loaded, mines in perfect order, because the Germans never believed the real invasion had already happened. May 8, 1945, 0900 hours. VE Day. London explodes in joy. Garbo stands on a balcony watching the crowds, invisible among them. He feels nothing but emptiness. The 27 ghosts he invented have outlived the empire they helped destroy. October 1945. MI5 fakes his death, cerebral malaria in Angola. Obituaries appear in Madrid and Hamburg. Surviving Abwehr officers raise a quiet glass to their greatest agent. Juan Pujol García, Araceli, and their children disappear to Venezuela. He opens a tiny bookshop in the mountain town of Laguna, sells religious statues, teaches his sons to fish. For 39 years he tells no one, not even his own family, who he really was. June 6, 1984, 1900 hours. An old man with gentle eyes opens the door of a modest house in the Andes foothills. A British historian stands on the step. When the visitor says the single word, Garbo, the old man's hands begin to tremble. He closes the shutters, pours 2 glasses of ron anejo, and for the first time in 4 decades speaks the whole truth. He cries only once, when he talks about the boys who never came home from the beaches. I invented 27 people who never lived, he whispers, so that hundreds of thousands who did live could see tomorrow. October 10, 1988. Juan Pujol García dies quietly in Caracas at the age of 76. His ashes are scattered over the Caribbean he loved as a boy. Only then does Britain finally tell the world. In the citation for his long-secret MBE, the last line reads, "For gallantry and devotion to duty of the very highest order while maintaining, under conditions of continuous danger and intolerable strain, a deception that decisively influenced the course of the war in Europe." But the truest epitaph was written years earlier by Dwight D. Eisenhower in a private letter never meant for publication. Without Garbo, I am not sure we could have landed at all. Tonight, somewhere beyond the reach of time, 27 imaginary spies, Welsh fascists, Gibraltarian waiters, drunken Venezuelan students, and one Swiss businessman who never was, stand at attention one last time. They salute the chicken farmer from Barcelona who lied so perfectly that he saved the world. And on the quiet tides of Normandy, where the sea still washes over rusted helmets and forgotten dog tags, The wind carries a single name, spoken like a benediction. Garbo.